Good morning, and I hope this finds you all well. And I apologize for the glare behind me. I've gone to every room in my house to figure out where can I record that you don't have this crazy glare behind me. I wanted a house with lots of windows, and I guess that's the price we pay. So I hope this finds you well and healthy and wearing a mask and all of that other level of crazy that we're in. We are in week seven, the end of July. How did that happen? So, what I wanted to encourage you for devotions this week is to finish strong. So, you're almost there. You're almost there. Your project is due next week. Next week will be week 8. I will actually be on Ocracoke Island, North Carolina. So, I'll make you a video from the island. Our son lives there, and we are going to mask up and visit him as long as North Carolina behaves themselves and we can get down there. So if you have any questions, I have internet access, I have my phone. Please don't feel like you've been abandoned. So I'm working on my schoolwork too. So yeah, finish strong. Questions, let me know. Look ahead. I'm sure most of you already done that, but look ahead to the template that you're filling out. If you have any questions, there are usually a couple of questions that come up about that. So um, the one thing I wanted to tell you is in there it talks about the template, it talks about the permission slip from the parent and the parent interview. If you've already turned that in, I already know that, so you don't have to attach that again. So that's usually a question that comes up. This week, I'm going to be your favorite person because there is no assignment. There's no assignment beyond your discussion posts. So there is a discussion post about crisis management. We like to think we don't have to mess with that, but I think COVID, we're in the middle of a crisis. So we're always dealing with some sort of crisis and behavior in the schools. And it's always, always, always when you don't think about it, when you don't think it's coming. Here's an example. I have a daughter with Down syndrome, intellectually disabled, on the other end of town, lives in her own home with behavior issues. She has caregivers that come in that help her. She's been asking for alone time, so we give her alone time. Her caregivers, we don't want her alone at night. Her caregivers leave at 8 in the morning, and the next caregiver comes at 9, so she has an hour. She was still asleep this morning at 8 o'clock, and that's happened before, so we're not going to leave her totally abandoned, and she has a phone. So she calls me in a panic that the caregiver that left at 8 didn't fix her breakfast. She's very capable of getting Cheerios, cutting up a banana, pouring some milk. That's not what she wanted for breakfast. So, according to Kelly Shoemaker, there was a crisis on Chestnut Street. So, I think in a crisis, we have to, number one, maintain our composure. Number two, figure out why is it a crisis for this person? Because it wasn't a crisis for me. She's very capable of doing what she claimed she wasn't capable of doing. What she wanted to do was get one of her parents over there to bring her a breakfast burrito from McDonald's. So sometimes in our kids there is a form of manipulation, and we have to be aware of that. But there can be a crisis, and we have to maintain our calm and assess before we go in to help. We can't just charge in and help because that doesn't go well. We have to step back, assess it. What do we need to know? So there's a crisis intervention after you've done some of the reading, and I think the articles are really good this week. I think so. And then your tutoring post. So, and that seems to be going really well for those of you that I'm hearing from. The other thing is we did not make an assignment this week. I helped create this course, and we did not put an assignment in because we know you're going to be working on your week 8 work. However, there are some forms in here that are critical that you look at. We're not going to know if you look at them or not. Please look at them. One is the manifestation determination form. And many of you probably already know this, but in case you don't, a manifestation determination is a meeting that you will have when a child with a disability has a behavior, a crisis, a major crisis. And you're going to look at, is the crisis because of the disability? For example, I worked with a student who had intellectual disabilities and one day after school hit an aide, hit a paraprofessional. Not okay behavior. That's a crisis. Squad was called. Pretty traumatic. we had to have a manifestation determination, and was that behavior of hitting the aid a result of the child's disability? That's what a manifestation determination is. And if it's not if the behavior is not a manifestation of the disability, the child is disciplined just like their peers. If it is a manifestation of the disability, then there are some provisions. We did decide sorry, I have something in my eye. We did decide as a team that this child's behavior was a manifestation of their disability. The paraprofessional didn't handle it correctly and actually created the behavior, and she was harmed in the meantime. So bad situation. Press was involved, bad, not good. So the child was disciplined but not expelled. That might have been an event that the child could have been expelled, but the IEP still had to be honored and all of that. So please check out a manifestation determination form. The next thing you're going to look at is a functional behavior assessment. I really wanted you all to complete a functional behavior assessment in this course, but we're not together enough weeks. So a functional behavior assessment is, why is the child doing what they're doing? You're trying to figure out, why did that child hit a paraprofessional? That's not typical behavior. What in the world happened? What was the crisis that happened? And once you figure out the why of the functional behavior assessment, the FBA, then you go to the next form we want you to look at, which is a behavior improvement plan. Because when there's a crisis, the state of Ohio wants to know that we as professionals are going to do everything we can to help that child not have that behavior again. So this week, that's a whole lot of rambling on my part, but you're going to look at a manifestation determination, a functional behavior assessment, an FBA, and a behavior improvement plan, a BIP, and they all kind of go together. So just look those over. No assignment attached to them. You're welcome. The only thing you have this week are your 2 discussion posts. So keep up the good work. You've got my numbers, you've got my email if you need me, and I wish you the best this week. Remember, finish strong.